This is the stage for new beginnings. So just leaning into that and as we are preparing for our restorative yoga today, just really finding a way, a comfortable way to hold your body. And that can be sitting, that can be lying down. But just making a decision that feels best for you in this moment. And starting to come in contact with the breath. Starting to feel the oxygen entering through the nose. Feeling the abdomen raising. And then releasing back down. And we'll start with a diaphragmatic breath practice where it's a 3-part breath, so you'll bring the air in and you'll fill the lower abdomen, the middle abdomen, and then the upper abdomen. And then on your exhale, you'll release the upper, middle, and lower abdomen. So we'll start that together. Take a deep breath in, filling the low abdomen, the middle abdomen, the upper abdomen. And then on your exhale, feel a release from the upper abdomen, the middle abdomen, and the lower abdomen. Again, deep breath in, filling lower, middle, upper, and a release upper, middle, lower. Just taking several more like that at your own pace. And then when you're ready, you can let that go and just come back to the regular rhythm of your breath. And when you're ready, just coming and finding some awareness in the present moment, finding awareness of where the body is. Just taking stock. If there's any distressing emotions or anything that might be percolating through the body, just noting, observing, and just coming back to the breath without judging, just really gently checking in. And we'll just start to gently move the body by just bringing the right ear to the right shoulder. Let the left shoulder remain relaxed and down. And then slowly moving the Chin down across the chest until the left ear is down by the left shoulder. And then once again, over to the left. And back to the left. And coming to neutral. Chin will come down to chest. Relaxing the jaw. And then coming back up. And then lifting the head up. Opening the throat here. And then back. Beautiful. And we'll head to our first pose here, child's pose. So we'll just come onto our hands and knees. You can grab, if you have any props, or if not, no worries. Just bring the knees to come the width of the mat and big toes will touch. The bolster can come out in front and you can just make your way to rest down here. You can always put a support under the sits bones behind here. If the hips don't come down to the ankles, and you can just rest here. And if you don't have a prop, then just make your way to come down. And so we'll take this shape and we'll be here for several breaths. I'll mind the time. And see if the low back can expand a little bit more down. And see if the shoulders can relax a little bit more as you melt forward. In child's pose, we can connect with the intuition of the body. So just tuning in, listening, observing. And again, if there's any tension or you're cringing or holding on to any spaces or places, see if you can soften just a little bit more. And you'll notice most of the class is silent to allow you to really stay connected with your body. So just noticing how it feels for the body to be in silence, to be still. Any impulses or desires to move out of the shape or to do something. We just simply observe and then we come back to the breath, we come back to the mindful presence of the shape. So about a minute left here, just releasing anything else. Good. And when you're ready, just gently coming back to the physical body. We'll begin to press the hands slowly into the earth, lifting ourselves up. Just setting our bolsters to the side, coming onto hands and knees, only to bring us down to our seat here. We're going to take some supported forward folds. And so we'll bring the left leg to come out long, and we'll allow the right leg to bend here. And I'll bring a support to come on top of my leg. If you don't have two blocks, which you can kind of create like a little bridge setup for yourself. So just setting the two blocks up and then allowing the bolster to come long, or you can just lie the bolster or the pillows on the leg here. And we'll just begin to melt here. Gently bending into the shape. And just feel that surrender. Yeah, so just again, just a reminder, left leg is long and the right leg is bent, and then we've just created this setup for ourselves so that we can fold forward onto either the bolster, or if we don't have that, we can just fold onto the left leg with any pillows or cushions that we have. So starting this practice with lots of surrendering, right? Lots of bowing forward, perhaps some releasing. And then just gently pressing up, lifting yourself out of that, resetting the spine here. Just taking apart our little bridge setup. And we're gonna bring the right leg to come long and just kind of shake, just like some gentle movements, maybe pointing and flexing the toes. Nice. And then we're just gonna come to the other side, so nothing fancy, just a transition over to the right to balance it out. So the right leg is long, and the left leg will bend into the top of the right thigh. If you had any props that you use on the left, and you want to continue that over to the right, that's great. Also just noting that both sides are different. So maybe you had that set up for yourself, that bridge, or maybe you just folded forward. And again, just checking in with the muscles and noticing if there's any clenching or cringing anywhere. And seeing if you might be able to just let that go, soften a little more into the shape. We have about a minute left here. Good, and when you're ready, just coming back to the body, back to the physical space, gently pressing yourself up out of the shape and releasing our bolster over to the side. This time we're gonna bend the knees here, and we'll just windshield wiper from side to side. And then we're gonna let the knees drop over to the left. And hopefully the bolster is close to the left hip. We're gonna bring the bolster to come out. If you don't have a bolster, you can wrap a towel or a blanket. You can roll that up. So you can take your blanket and just roll it. And you can bring that to come out of the left hip if you don't have the bolster. And we'll just bring the fingertips to surround the bolster, and we'll take a deep breath in. And we'll elongate our spine here. Deep breath in. And then on our exhale, we're just gonna melt forward onto the bolster. And you just should feel a gentle spinal twist. Breath is flowing in and out. We know that coming into these postures can activate our parasympathetic nervous system, also known as our rest and digest. And so really tapping in, allowing the nervous system to be soothed and regulated as we just bring our bodies into stillness without having to be anywhere or do anything, but just be still and just be with the breath. So we really revel in that silence and that gift that we give to ourselves here. Good, and when you're ready, just gently pressing yourself up. Rolling the fingertips towards the hips, pressing out of the shape. And then here we'll just windshield wiper once again. Just resetting the hips. Good, and then we'll allow the knees to drop over to the right. So knees will come over to the right here, and we'll just shift the bolster over to come out of the right hip. Same thing, surrounding the fingertips around the bolster. before you make your way to come down. Just allowing yourself to surrender into the shape as you roll down. Nice work. Just another minute here. Releasing any tightening or clenching that might have come up. These twists are really beneficial for our spine, and they allow for a detoxing and a kind of releasing of any stagnant or stuck emotion. So when you're ready, just gently pressing fingertips into the earth and allowing yourself to press up. We'll just shift the bolster to come straight behind the spine. And again, just coming out of this to windshield wiper, you can leave the hands behind the hips and just windshield wipering back and forth. Nice. And then setting up for our next shape, which is going to be a reclined bound angle. Couple options here. The bolster is coming straight out from the back. If you want to make it more restorative on the knees, you can decide if you have blocks or high books. You can decide to keep those under those knees at any height that feels best and restorative for you. If you have a blanket handy and you'd like to cover yourself with that to kind of come into a deeper sense of relaxation. And what we'll do is we'll just gently make our way to fold back onto the bolster. So shoulders are going to kind of come off of the sides, allowing for the heart to be elevated. So the heart is higher than the forehead now. And so if that feels okay, you can stay there. And you might even need, if you have another pillow or an extra bolster, you can also put that under the neck as well. If it doesn't feel good to have it without. So just some options. Every shape for every person will be different depending on what the body's calling for. So just taking what you need here. Noticing the transition from surrender, from this bowing forward, to now the surrendering of the heart, and this opening, this elevation. Notice how that feels. Maybe it feels okay, maybe it feels difficult. Wherever it is, just observing, taking note, and then just coming back to the breath. And you might decide to stay here and take your Shavasana right where you are. If you want to switch to more traditional Shavasana, just gently making your way up. You can release any of those props, maybe placing them under the head. And you'll just bring the legs to come long as you melt down and taking your final rest either in your reclined bound angle or in traditional Shavasana, just letting the practice settle for you wherever it does. Slowly start to bring awareness back to the body. Begin deepening the breath and feeling the abdomen expand once again. And then gentle movements, fingertips, toes. Reaching the arms overhead and pointing the toes. A big, good afternoon stretch. And then hugging the knees into the body. And then we'll roll over to the left side. Just holding yourself in our fetal position, a reminder to begin again here. Supported and grounded both at the same time. And when you're ready, you'll press the right hand into the earth and gently bring yourself up. Eyes will remain closed and you'll just come back to an easy seat, bringing the two palms together. We'll slightly bow the chin in gratitude and humility for ourselves, for our practice, for this community, for collective consciousness, for the world. Thank you for allowing me to be your guide. And thank you for showing up. Namaste.